A complex and precarious place. At war with itself for centuries.
Well, I'm just going to start this one by straight up asking the question that everybody's thinking. Why is there a black guy in Japan in the 1500s?
I am here to fight you.
And I don't mean that in an intolerant way, it doesn't seem to make sense on the surface of it, you know? If you listen to the internet, which you shouldn't, it's because Ubisoft is pure evil and wants to force diversity down your throat. But that's not true. Well, the diversity thing isn't true. They could be evil, I don't know. I think Ubisoft anticipated that question though, because literally the first thing that happens in this game is you learn where he comes from. And it actually makes sense both historically and in the context of the game. Wow, it's almost like they have people who research this stuff. Yasuke, or Yaesuke if you're from Texas.
My name is Yasuke.
Which I'm not. Was picked up by the Portuguese in Africa during the slave trade and brought over to Japan on a missionary expedition to spread Christianity. Look at that, a perfectly reasonable explanation. The Portuguese did visit Japan around this time, and the slave trade was also active, so it's plausible that this could have happened. Did it actually happen? I don't know. Ask a historian, I'm just the video game guy. But it's close enough to reality that I can get with it and carry on. I can also get with the fact that we are finally monetized. So thank you to everyone that watched my other videos, and if this is your first introduction to me, please subscribe. There's way more to come.
I am an ember, lit by the flames of purpose.
First things first, the biggest change from the previous Assassin's Creed games is that you can play as two characters this time. Odyssey and Valhalla let you choose between male and female protagonists, but they were one character. You just choose the gender at the start and you're locked in. In Shadows, we get a different take on that formula. Yasuke and Naoe are two separate characters that both exist in the world and have their own separate backstories and motives. They work together to fight their common enemy, bamboo. Bamboo is everywhere and you never know when it will strike, so they must act proactively and ruthlessly. Don't forget about sliding doors as well. They're just waiting to pinch your fingers. Get them before they get you. Oh, and there's some bad guys around here too. You might as well take them out. They actually spend a lot of time on the backstories of these two characters. The first 2 hours of gameplay is basically a movie where you learn that Yasuke was given to Lord Nobunaga. I'm going to get so many of these Japanese words wrong, and so just go with it. Given to Lord Nobunaga as part of a trade deal, remember this is the time of slavery, who then taught him the way of the samurai. Naoe, on the other hand, is from a small village in Iga, where everybody is basically ninjas. Her village is pillaged by Nobunaga's army, and wow, that's a tough one to say. Village is pillaged by Nobunaga's army. Okay, moving on. But during this, her father is killed, setting her up for her revenge arc. Having two characters isn't just a cosmetic difference this time either. Yasuke is big and an absolute tank in battle, while Naoe is faster, sneakier, and better at playing the stealth game. This allows you to choose what playstyle you want to run with, and thankfully, you can do this at almost any point in the game. There are a few character-specific missions and areas, but 95% of it allows you to switch between them on the fly. You don't have to go to some designated switching point, and it doesn't respawn you at your home base. If you want to switch, you just do it in the pause menu, and it drops you back exactly where you were, so you can continue slaughtering bamboo forests with your desired level of daintiness. The only limitation is that you can't do it in enemy territory or during combat, so you have to choose before you get your freak on. These different skill sets also come with different weapon loadouts. Both characters get a sword. I mean, it's Japan, you have to have katanas, or katanas as they say in the game. I'm going to say katana because I'm white, but now I also gets a tanto, which is basically dual wielded daggers, and a, oh god, kusarigmama? Let's go with that, which is basically a blade on the end of a chain. There's also the standard AC toolset with smoke bombs, a bell to distract your enemies, throwing knives, and just for some extra Japanese flavor, shuriken, aka ninja stars. In addition to the long katana, Yasuke also gets a nagetana, which is a sword on a stick, and a kanabo, which is just the stick. He doesn't get to use the tools like Naoe, instead he gets his choice of two ranged weapons, either a bow or a musket, called a teppo. I really enjoyed the option to choose stealth or tank in this game. Each character and weapon has their own skill tree, and in one of the greatest quality of life features I've ever seen in a game, all of your skill points are doubled. So if you get a skill point with Naue, Yasuke also gets one. You don't have to worry about overplaying one character and ending up looking like this guy. Your progress tracks for both characters simultaneously, and you level up both of them at the same time. Chef's kiss. You can also refund and reallocate your XP at any time at no cost. Amazing.
I seek peace of mind. Anger dulls my senses.
Ubisoft seems to really put a lot of time and effort into figuring out the gameplay here. The economy and the leveling system just works. It's easy, you don't really think about it. You just go with it. There's also a ton of gameplay and accessibility options in the menus. I don't want to get too in the weeds here, so I'm just going to hit the big bongos. There's canon mode, which allows you to choose between making your own dialogue choices in the game or letting the writers choose it for you in their preferred version of the story. This is perfect for those who don't care or find the choices distracting, like me. You can also choose to have all the dialogue in Japanese for a more authentic experience, which you might want to try because some of the English acting is really, really bad. It's not quite as bad as Mirage was. This is definitely an improvement over that, and I might even go as far as to say some of the acting in this one is good. But overall, it averages out to just okay, acceptable, functional. Because for every one of these...
Don't you understand? I was wrong. I chose wrong. I was lied to and manipulated, and now I'm left with nothing. While Lord Mitsuhide has an army.
There's one of these.
Alone? Looking for treasure?
Not just any treasure, a special weapon. I was going to wear it and kill the bandits one by one. But then I got scared of the bandits, and I don't like blood, and I didn't know how to leave.
And despite the graphical upgrades in this game, which look amazing, by the way, the facial animation doesn't quite match what we've seen in other games. If you look closely, the faces have very simple movements, and they appear to be procedurally generated or something based on the script rather than genuine performance captures that are becoming the norm in games like this.
Why don't you tell me what will make this right between us, and I'll get it for you.
That combined with some so-so acting leaves the characters sometimes feeling a bit lifeless.
Then you're of no use to me at all.
The story does attempt to make up for this. Like I said earlier, the first 2 hours is basically a movie that gives you the origin story for our two protagonists and is genuinely interesting. They take their time to really flesh out the characters and make them feel like real people, not just a plot pawn. They have personalities, as do the other characters in the main storyline. It seems Ubisoft knew that if they were going to set a game in Japan, they were going to have to bring the heat. And boy did they.
You remember my face, but today you will remember my name. I will make you feel the pain of those you have touched.
At least, initially. After you get through Act 1, there's 3 acts, the story just kind of fizzles out and you end up chasing baddie after baddie on your mind map of death, which is huge. That's what she said. Each ring here is basically a side mission that has you track down and assassinate, or sometimes save, a bunch of people to achieve some kind of greater goal for the quest giver. Sometimes they're interesting. There's one where you track down a bunch of former samurai students and duel them, each one with a different weapon. That one I actually found pretty neat and I liked it a lot, but most of them are entirely forgettable. I think the main problem here is that you can do these things in any order. So you have what is initially a very developed linear story that branches out into like 25 different vaguely related subplots. It's the same problem I had with Valhalla, actually. Each region has its own quest line, and there's just too damn many of them. They don't put enough effort into making these things interesting, and it just kind of becomes a slog. In the end, and there's no spoilers here, it does pick up a little bit. They tried to bring it together, and for me, it just doesn't hit. There's too much time between that amazing opening and the ending. In all that time, I basically just kind of forgot what was going on, and my connection to the characters slowly disappeared. By the end, I just kind of wanted to get it over with. I found myself skipping through a lot of the dialogue, and yeah.
Fearing the rainstorm will not prevent the flood.
I really think this game is just too frickin' long. Like, I spent over 100 hours to get to the end of this game, and granted, I am a bit of a completionist. You can probably do this much faster if you really wanted to, but it was just too much. I think this game would be a lot better if it was like half as long. Finally, we have the world and exploration, which seems to be the main focus of this game once you actually get into it, because when you're wandering around aimlessly looking for those blue dots to assassinate, you're greeted by a tremendously large open world that includes dozens of towns, cities, lakes, mountains, coastlines, waterfalls, temples, and whatever this is. Again, this one has some pros and cons to it. The world is absolutely huge, so there's tons to explore. But you really do have to explore because they changed up how the map system works for shadows. Unlike every other Assassin's Creed game, climbing a tower up to a synchronization point doesn't reveal the map. It only reveals points of interest. You have to actually go there if you want to clear the fog from the map. So if you have that little broken thing in your brain like I do, where I need to clear every little bit of fog to completely clear the map, you're going to be doing a lot of bushwhacking and mountain climbing. Like, a lot. My advice is just don't. Every point of interest in this game has a path that goes to it. So just stick to the paths. Don't waste your time trudging through the forest like Nathan Drake. There's no booty there. Not even bamboo. Luckily, if you do stick to the paths, you'll be rewarded by some seriously gorgeous scenery. Like, I spent a lot of time just wandering through creeks and mountain paths, just enjoying the view. I find it calming. Nature, I mean, not the booty. Okay, the booty too. Another level up over previous games is the environment. And this one actually works very well, even if it is a bit frustrating at times. There is a fully dynamic weather system that generates storms and clouds, as well as a full day-night cycle. There's also 4 distinct seasons that each take up 2 hours of real-time gameplay to get through. You'll have seen those already from the clips I have here. The entire map changes with each season, and also serves as a reset for some of the in-game mechanics. The annoying part is you can't control it. At all. There's no way to fast forward to change season or change the time of day. Just like in real life, you gotta wait. Stupid physics. Lastly, I have to talk about your hole.
I mean, it looks mostly like a tanuki.
You look mostly like a tanuki.
Your hidey hole, I mean. Just like in Valhalla, you get a hideout that you can upgrade to unlock new buildings and perks. Only this time, they went full city builder with it. You get this huge area where you can build whatever you want, wherever you want. There's a few standard upgradable buildings that give you gameplay perks, as well as a few extras that are just for show. Then there's an entire catalog of rocks, trees, statues, and structures you can place wherever your feng shui desires. The buildings are unlocked through gameplay, but basically everything else is found in chests throughout the world. So you really have to explore if you want all the tchotchkes. The best part is, once again, Ubisoft is a total bro, and they made all of the decorations free and infinite once they're unlocked. So if you want to change something, no problem. Go right ahead. No charge, no penalty. You can demo the whole thing and start over if you want. The freedom is endless. Nope, this one is made in Canada. Suck it, Yankees! Ubisoft took one hell of a swing with Assassin's Creed Shadows. They've been on the rocks financially for a while, and they definitely had to do something to convince people that the Ubisoft formula still works. My review of Assassin's Creed Mirage was not very kind. So, were they successful? Yeah, I think so, mostly. While the story implementation is a big step up, it still fizzles out into an endless boring line of meaningless assassinations. I really think this game would be massively improved by simply being smaller and more focused. The voice acting has also improved over Mirage, but it's far from being the best. The strong suit of this game, I think, is the configurability of the gameplay that lets you play the game however you want to and tailor the experience to your liking. It's clearly designed to work with you to help you explore this gorgeous world that they have created at your own pace and in your own way. That, combined with the incredible culture and landscape offered by 16th century Japan, provides an experience that you simply can't get anywhere else. Is it better than Ghost of Tsushima? No, it isn't. But it's different enough that I think it's still worth playing, even if it is a little bit too long.
Can we go home now? I'm hungry.